Hi guys, I'm Claire from the Kitschy Kitchen, and this is my friend Olivia
of LoveHealthFitness, and today we're going to be introducing to you guys the Girls Guide. So this is basically a guide to the holidays where you can spend with your girlfriends and make fun appetizers. So today we're going to start off with New Year's appetizers. We're going to be doing 5 different appetizers, 5 different ways.
So I am making 5 ingredient crostini, and I love crostini because they are my go-to party appetizer. You basically make toast, which is what this is. I showed you how to do that in another video, so you can check that out. And then you just put really delicious things on top of it. It's so simple. And the cool thing about this is that you can basically insert and swap any ingredient you like. So I have my 5 base ingredients. I was a little more liberal than you with the pantry items, so sorry everybody. But my ingredients are prosciutto, ricotta, fresh ricotta, toasted walnuts, arugula, and then some roasted butternut squash that I roasted off, which I also showed you how to do in another video. And then for my pantry items, I'm using a little bit of garlic, some honey, chili flake, because I love spicy, and then salt, pepper, and some olive oil. So let's get started. We have a lot of crostini to get through.
Woohoo! Let's do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna get started on my first crostini, but I have to swap with you because I need to get to my bowl. So the first one we're going to do is a smashed butternut squash crostini with arugula and prosciutto. And so for this, I'm just gonna add just a little bit of the butternut squash. And because it's roasted, it's super tender. I'm gonna do a big fat pinch of chili flake, which is optional. You do not have to include the chili flake if you don't want to.
Make it spicy and feisty.
I love it. And then a little bit of garlic, just a touch. Once again, optional. And then a tiny bit of olive oil just to kind of bring the whole thing together.
Yum.
And then I'm just gonna use my fork, super basic, and just smash the whole thing together.
Smash it.
Smashing. And I'm also gonna be doing a puree on one of my crostini, but for this one, I actually really want it to have a smashed texture because it means it has a little more like sort of a toothsome quality than a puree, which is just really gooey and lovely and just smooth. So will you please pass a crostini?
Yes, we will pass the crostini.
I'm gonna put some of this arugula on top, just a teeny bit, because you don't want people kind of wrestling with arugula as they chew.
Or have it like in your teeth.
100%. That's not a good look at a holiday party. No. And then you just put a little bit of the smashed butternut squash mixture on top. Really pretty. And I just love the sort of difference of texture and color here. And then a big, beautiful piece of prosciutto. And I like kind of folding it so it's sort of ribbons. But yeah, that is our first crostini of 5. So quick to put together, but it looks really sophisticated.
Yeah, it does.
That's what I like. It looks like very elegant and I really tried. I like, so much effort in the kitchen, but it's so easy to put together. All right, so now we're moving on to the next one. And this one actually is a little bit more involved. I'm busting out my food processor, but it's worth it. It's actually gonna be really fun and fancy. All right. So the next one we're going to make is a walnut ricotta pesto, and then I'm topping that with prosciutto and a little bit of arugula oil. So for this, I'm gonna take a big handful of arugula and pop that into the food processor. Big pinch of salt, because I like to flavor on every single level, because then you end up getting just a really beautiful kind of combination of flavors without having to do a lot of adjustment at the end. And then a pretty solid amount of olive oil. And this has one step to it, basically, and blitzing it. All right, that seems sufficient. And so for this, my next step is I'm actually just going to pour the arugula mixture through a strainer, because I just want the oil. And it has this really pretty green color that I think is just so nice.
It smells so good already.
I know, it's so fresh. And it's funny, I notice on food shows, everyone refers to arugula as being like peppery, but the truth is, it is a bitter herb. It's a bitter leafy green, and bitter is great, bitter is sexy, bitter is really fun, and it adds a really interesting dynamic to your food. So we've cleaned out the food processor, and now we're making the other part of this recipe, which is the walnut pesto. And I'm kind of obsessed with this stuff. It's delicious on sandwiches, and it's so easy to make. And you don't have to use walnuts. You could use almonds, pecans, like whatever nut you are feeling like. I do about, I'd say, equal parts walnuts and ricotta. So you can make as much or as little of this as you want. So just kind of like a handful of each. And then for this, I'm gonna add some more garlic, and similarly, it's kind of how much garlic you want. You know, if you love garlic, feel free to add a little extra. If you are not that into garlic, just a little bit goes a very long way. And now a really healthy big fat pinch of salt. little bit of pepper. And actually, I'm gonna be fancy and drizzle my olive oil in, right? Like, why not? Actually, no, I'm gonna be a nice host and let you drizzle it.
Oh, wow. Okay, guys.
Here you go. Pressure's on. And there's the off button. All right.
Woohoo.
Woo! And that's it. I love making things like this because once again, so little effort, it looks so fancy. And I'm just gonna use my spoon. And may I have a crostini, please?
Oh, yes, of course.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to put this right on top. And can you smell the garlic?
It smells so good.
Oh, it's so good. And if you toast the walnuts, it just adds this amazing extra depth of flavor that is so delicious. All right, so the last few bits for this one are a little bit of prosciutto. So just one piece of really thinly sliced prosciutto, similarly just kind of prettily laid. And for this, I love, it's just such a pretty kind of electric green, like this beautiful chartreuse. I'm just gonna drizzle a teeny bit of the oil right on top.
Yum.
So lots of just beautiful flavors coming together. All right, so that's 2, and that's definitely the most complicated of all the crostini. All right, cool, and so I'm now gonna move on to my next one, which I'm actually gonna do the simplest one because this is like the most fun for me. I'm going to make my honey, ricotta, and black pepper crostini. And what I love about this is that it just is a perfect example of how if you wanna make something sophisticated and beautiful and interesting for a party, you really don't have to kind of, put that much effort into it. It doesn't need to be this really big, complicated to do. But now I'm just going to drizzle it with a little bit of honey. Just like that. Oh, it's so pretty.
Yum.
And then hit it with a little bit of black pepper.
That's gonna have so many different flavors. That's awesome.
I'm so excited about this. And then there we go. The easiest, least time-intensive crostini you could possibly do. And then the next one I'm gonna do is going to be also kind of in the sweet world. I'm doing a butternut squash ricotta puree with honey and walnuts on top, so that'll be really good. All right, so first, as you'd imagine, I put some of my butternut squash in here, and it's sort of the same rule as the pesto that I made earlier. It's just equal parts. So probably about yay much of ricotta. A little bit of salt, just to make sure everything's nice and flavored. And then that's it. All right, that is nice and pureed. This one, I'm just going to put a nice big scoop on top. And what's so nice about this is the difference in texture, because the crostini is super duper crunchy, but then the puree is really rich and creamy, so it's super nice. I just love the way this looks. I like doing just like a couple of whole walnuts on top, just because it looks really pretty. And then I'm gonna drizzle this with a little bit of honey.
This is gonna be so good because it's gonna be creamy and crunchy and savory and sweet. It's like a little bit of everything.
I love that. I love when you hit all 5 flavors at the same time. Beautiful. And now we have the last one, which kind of similar to your avocado salad that goes on your pita pizza. I'm doing a butternut squash salad that's going on top of the crostini. So for that, I have my butternut squash. I'm going to add the rest of the arugula, a little bit of salt, some pepper, and I'm going to chop up some walnuts to go inside it. And this can be roughly chopped. They don't need to be super fine because you do want to have that texture. And then from the pantry, I'm going to add a little bit of balsamic vinegar. You can use any vinegar you like. A little bit of olive oil just to kind of mix it all together. And then I'm gonna use my hands, and so I'm just going to take like a nice little handful and just put it right on top. All right. And that's it. Those are my 5 crostini. They're super delicious, really quick to put together, and I think they're pretty sophisticated.
They look really sophisticated, guys, and that was super easy, which is really exciting.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to eat because that means I get to eat your pita pizza and you get to try my crostini, so this is gonna be very fun. So here we are with our amazing spread. These look so delicious.
I'm super excited to eat all of it.
It's gonna be amazing. And what I love about this is it's 5 ingredients, 5 really simple but really fabulous recipes, and this is our girl's guide to holiday appetizers.
Yeah, so let's
dig in. All right, which one are you gonna go for?
I'm gonna go with this one.
I'm going with the walnut pesto situation.
Ooh. so good. I love how crunchy it is, and then it's sweet and salty. It's delicious. You guys have to try this.
I absolutely love it. It's such a fun sort of blend of flavors and textures, and I mean, you can't really go wrong with crostini. It's just sort of such an easy go-to, and you can kind of mix and match it to whatever you like. And I cannot wait to try your pizza. Oh my gosh. So if you guys want to see how to make Olivia's amazing pita pizzas, you have to check it out on her channel.
At LoveHealthFitness.
It's gonna be so delicious. For more recipes like this one, make sure to check out my blog, thekitschykitchen.com.
And make sure to check me out on YouTube, Love Health Fitness, for more healthy, fun recipes as well as girly things to do.